Well, gender-neutral fashion is having a major moment. It's been all over the runways in New York and Paris, and now there is an incredible collection from Proenza Schouler with some star power behind it. Here to talk about it with me is stylist and author Heather Newberger. And Heather, how do I say Proenza? You know, is it Schouler? Am I right? Because let's face it, I haven't bought that in a while, ever.
You know, I wish I could afford Proenza Schouler myself, but I will say, believe you are saying it correctly. It is the way I say it.
Great.
And we could also both be wrong. So
that's totally fine. It'll be relatable to most people.
75%.
Yeah, let's talk about the inspiration for this collection and the faces that are attached to it.
So it's really exciting. I'm going to just kind of fangirl for a little bit because I'm a huge, fan of what they're doing. But this year what's happening is, instead of just their spring summer capsule collection, we're actually looking at this really cool collection that they're doing in tandem with Mercedes Benz. And Mercedes Benz is sort of known to work with a lot of different designers and also really champion the fashion scene. For a long time, they were responsible for the fashion tents over in New York City during New York City Fashion Week, and they've also teamed with other brands like Tommy Hilfiger to really bring some interesting capsule collections, out into the world. So this one specifically actually features Laura Dern and her son, which I think is super interesting because it's really hitting on that whole gender neutrality world. They really wanted to focus on oversized garments and interesting fits. And what I think is even cooler than just it being a gender neutral brand is that it's also being done in tandem with someone who's in the Gen Z world and someone who's, a bit older. So it's also really an ageless brand as well. So I love seeing that kind of thing happening. And, that's just fully inclusive when we're talking about the fashion world. And it's inspired by what else but the great American road trip, something that we really are missing right now during the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. I love that it's intergenerational. And how did this company, approach the gender neutral look? What elements did they choose? You mentioned that they wanted baggy, basically.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to skew oversized so that it's really inclusive for sort of all body types and different shapes. And also whether you're a man or a woman, for them, it's really important that they take that roomier, more oversized approach because they've said in interviews, it's quote unquote, a very now point of view. And I have to agree.
Very cool. Yes, oversized, not baggy. That's the fashion word, oversized. The other thing about this collection is that it's sustainable. That's pretty cool, Heather.
It's super cool. And I'm really into sustainable fashion right now. I love seeing different brands sort of put up different eco-conscious logos, really saying that they're kind of, repurposing old fabrics. So in this case, Proenza Schouler is actually taking from their old different cashmeres, sweaters, different pieces they have, and they're putting all of that into the collection. When you're a designer that has been around for so long, or I should say a designer duo, you have all this great backstock that you really haven't done a whole lot with. So it's really cool to see them taking that backstock and really bringing it into their current collection so that we can sort of keep this whole circularity of fashion going.
Very cool. Interesting stuff from Proenza Schouler. Heather, always great to see you as well. I feel posh now that I know how to say it. Thank you so much. And you can keep up with Heather on Instagram. And if you'd like even more fashion, pick up her book, How to Date Your Wardrobe.